Now that the NFL draft is over, let's take a look at some free agents that the Bears could sign. My name is Harrison Graham. Appreciate everybody who tuned in to our draft coverage. We put out our undrafted free agent targets video yesterday, so check that out if you haven't already. Important to note when it comes to free agency, after 4 o'clock Eastern, 3 Central Time passes today, free agent signings do not impact the comp pick formula for next year's draft. So, I don't think you'll see any teams sign players until 3 o'clock today. Now, I'm not saying a rush of players will sign, but over the next days and weeks, you could start to see some free agents sign with teams because it does not impact the comp pick formula for next year. So if a team is in the green in terms of getting comp picks for next year, they would still be in the green after today. Okay, I want to ask you guys before we get into some free agent targets, what is the Bears' biggest roster need? If you had to guess, or in your opinion, what is the biggest need on this roster? Let us know in the comment section below. Some would still say it's running back, and I got a couple of running backs we'll take a look at here. Let's start with Nick Chubb, who obviously at one point was an All-Pro, a fantastic player before having a gruesome injury in 2023, which missed most of that season, missed about half of last season. The Bears did not address running back until they added Kyle Monangai in the 7th round. A player I like, a player who I thought could have gone in the 5th or so. Kind of a battering ram, bowling ball type of runner, good contact balance. Honestly, just a worse Ashton Genty. A big gap there, to be clear. He does not have the burst of Genty, but in terms of contact balance, he's actually good in blitz pickup. I like him. I think he can be in a rotation. Can he be a number 2 back this year? Can Roschon Johnson? I think those are still questions that are fair to ask. And if you listen to Ryan Poles, I thought Dan Wiederer asked a really good question. He basically said, it felt like you guys got a little unlucky in the draft with running backs. And if you remember, obviously they tried to trade for Ashton Genty. That didn't work out. In the 2nd round, they picked at 39 and 41. Quinshon Judkins went 36. Travion Henderson went 38. So you wonder if the Bears would have taken one of those players. And then it happened again on day 3. They picked 7th to start the 4th round at 109 overall. Cam Scadaboo and Bashal Tutin went off the board before they got there. And he was asked about that, and he kind of didn't dismiss it. And Ben Johnson kind of gave a look as well. I think they wanted to get a running back earlier. Now, I'm glad they still got one. Monangai was one of my better kind of late day 3 guys that I liked. Producer Cullen, it was actually his first Bears draft crush. So I'm glad they got him on board. But again, is this enough? Does Ben Johnson look at this and say, yeah, this will work? And I do think it's serviceable. I think you can get by with this group. But if you think about Detroit and what they did the last few years, I'm not sure Swift and Roschon Johnson and or Kyle Monangai is really what Ben Johnson's looking for. Now, is Nick Chubb that? That's a fair question, right? Because obviously last year he came back the second half of the year. Didn't look like himself. His last 2 games, he averaged well over 4 yards per carry, so it seemed like maybe he was starting to get more fresh coming off the major injury where he tore his ACL, MCL, and meniscus, that gruesome injury early in 2023 when he was off to a fantastic start, over 6 yards per carry, and obviously in the years before that, he was an all-pro level player. What Nick Chubb are you getting? I think you could say, okay, he probably should be better than last year because he's an extra year removed from the injury. He'll have a full healthy offseason. He's been training. I think I saw recently he was back to squatting 600 pounds. So he's a workaholic. He's 29 years old. But I think it's also fair to say if you're getting pre-injury Nick Chubb, that's probably unlikely. The question is, can he be an upgrade over Roschon Johnson and Kyle Monangai? If you think he can, I would sign him. If you don't, it's probably not worth signing him. So it'll be very curious to see how the Bears view that. I would bring him in for a workout, medical check, see how he looks, and then make a decision. Okay, JK Dobbins, another player that you could consider who I thought bounced back pretty nicely last year. He's had numerous injuries early on in his career as well. I believe he's still only 26 years old. Almost rushed for 1,000 yards for the Chargers last year, had 9 touchdowns as well. Now, his first 2 weeks, he really popped off, and everybody's like, oh, my God, is J.K. Dobbins going to be among the leaders in rushing? And then he slowed down. They kind of went with more of a rotation. Gus Edwards, he didn't look as good Dobbins did as the season went on. Now, I still think, especially in a role where he's going to be in a rotation, yeah, like he can be a solid player, but it's the same question. Like, is he some clear upgrade over the other backs behind DeAndre Swift that you have? Maybe, maybe not. I'm not sure, but I do think these are two notable names that are out there. Obviously, if Nick Chubb got close to what he formerly was, I mean, that would be unbelievable, right? And I will add this. With the upgrades on the offensive line, I think you can bring in one of these two guys, talented runners, even if they're not in peak physical condition like they once were earlier in their careers. Okay, pick a running back. Who would you rather have if you were the Chicago Bears? Type NC for Nick Chubb, JK for JK Dobbins. Get your votes down in the comment section below. Okay, Zidarius Smith, who you could argue is just the best overall free agent available. The Bears did not draft a pure edge rusher. We'll talk about him as a potential fit coming up in just a moment. But we got Colston Loveland jerseys available on pre-sale at chatsports.com/Loveland. He is going to rock number 84, so you can go ahead and pre-order his jerseys today. Once some of the other rookie jerseys are available with our partner Fanatics, we will share that with you as well, especially Luther Burden, such a jersey guy. But if you want to get a Colston Loveland jersey, we'll pre-order one today, chatsports.com/Loveland, and you'll have it in plenty of time for the season. Okay, Zidarius Smith, to me, is the top edge available. Had 9 sacks last season and has played in every NFC North team, except for the Chicago Bears. I thought he performed pretty well with Detroit after they picked him up at the deadline last year when Aiden Hutchinson went down. 9 sacks between Cleveland and Detroit a year ago, 17 quarterback hits. And if you look at the draft, they added Shamar Turner, who was more of a defensive tackle last year at Texas A&M. Now, could he kick out to edge? That is certainly a possibility. I think the depth chart is probably very much in flux. I mean, Ben Johnson himself said there's no depth charts right now, but some of that is going to be tongue-in-cheek. But I do wonder, what is the kind of edge rotation? Are we going to see, Shamar Turner and or Gervon Dexter kick out to edge some? I think that's certainly a possibility at this point in time. But if they plan to use Adengbo as kind of a move-around guy, play inside, play out, then you've got Montez Sweat, Dio Adengbo, and Austin Booker's your third guy. Daniel Hardy, who's really just more of a special teamer. Like, to me, I would sign an edge. I would try to bring in a guy like Zidarius Smith if the contract is reasonable. We'll see if the Bears are interested. Okay, another position is safety. The Bears did not add one in the draft. I thought that could be a position they address. Did not end up happening. Julian Blackman's a name that's been floated out there some. College teammates with Jalen Johnson at Utah. Pretty good season last year for the Colts. 86 tackles, had 3 interceptions as well. Good instinctive safety on the back end. Can play both spots, both free and strong safety. I think this is one of those tricky ones because if you're Blackman, you're probably looking for a starting job. But does that exist? And if it doesn't, this would be a decent opportunity because Kevin Byard's in the last year of his deal. So if Blackman comes in, performs well, he could be a guy you keep beyond this year. And then Jaquan Brisker, who's also in the last year of his deal, that's a player I'm sure the Bears deep down would like to keep long-term. But with his concussion and injury history, I mean, Blackman could have opportunities to play and to play early on. Elijah Hicks, Jonathan Owens, fine backups, but they're also in the last year of their contracts. And I think that's the question the Bears got to ask themselves. Do they feel comfortable with the backups? Because chances are Brisker's going to miss time. That's what history tells us. I hope that's not the case. I hope he plays all 17 games. Hope he is an all-pro. But would you bet on him playing all 17 games? I would guess if you had Vegas betting odds, you'd probably say over-under's what? I don't know, 10.5 games. If he has a concussion, we may not see him again this year. So I would try to get a safety in there. Again, I don't know if a player of Blackman's caliber, who is a starting caliber player, would agree to sign here. But if a starting job isn't out there, maybe Chicago is a place that he would jump on board with. We will be live once again this afternoon, 4 o'clock Central Time here on Chicago Bears Now. We were live throughout the NFL Draft, running it back like we do every single Monday and Thursday. So subscribe and join us for that. Turn on your notifications so you don't miss out. Okay, one more name that we mentioned a couple of times before the draft. Joan Bentley, the linebacker for the New England Patriots, obviously got cut. You could actually sign him right now, and it wouldn't impact the comp pick formula. Same with Zidarius Smith, because those are 2 guys that got cut. Bentley last year had an injury, but his agent had announced that he is fully healthy. 3 straight 100 tackle seasons. He's won a Super Bowl. He can play multiple linebacker spots. Again, kind of like Blackman, would he sign on for a non-full-time starting role? Because in most cases, the Bears are just going to have 2 linebackers on the field. But on base downs, who's that third linebacker? Is it Eamon Agbagbamiga or is it Ruben Hippolyte? Shout out hashtag HippoHive. Going to have to get that trademarked. But let's be honest, this is not a guy that was on our radar, right? Most draft pundits had him as like a 7th-round grade. Now, he's super explosive. He's athletic. Maybe there's a lot more there than we think, but that's asking a lot for this guy to be your third linebacker right away. I think there's going to be competition there. The question is, do you have enough quality players that someone's actually going to emerge as that third linebacker? We know Bentley as a vet can do the job. So wouldn't be shocked if we saw another linebacker get added to the mix. A guy like C.J. Mosley's out there. I don't think he's going to sign up for an LB3 role, but just another name to throw out there. Okay, there's 5 guys that I'm keeping an eye on. Name a free agent that you think the Bears should go out and sign. Give us your thoughts in the comment section down below. And don't forget to subscribe and join us this afternoon, 4 o'clock Central Time, for Bears Now Live. We'll take a look at some other post-draft fallout then as well. My name is Harrison Graham. See you this afternoon.